Now, it may be a little crazy and hyperbolic to say that a game in week 2 of a 17-game season is a must-win, but Monday Night Football, Vikings versus the Eagles, is probably as close as you're going to get in week 2. And there's a myriad of reasons why the Vikings have to go into Philly, Lincoln Financial Field, return to the scene of the crime, 38-7, blah, 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 that it would just be absolutely cathartic for this new regime to exorcise the demons. I'm guessing demons exercise would be, I don't know, like P90X or something crazy like P90X with CrossFit. That's what demon exercises would be. But the Vikings and Jefferson and Kevin O'Connell and Kirk Cousins marching into Philly, taking on the Eagles, young upstart team. Absolutely love what Sirianni's doing with Hurts, and A.J. Brown is a stud, and the defense is good, and the offensive line is good, whatever. But the Vikings have to do it to cleanse the palate. Again, 38-7 still hangs over the Vikings because not only did you throw away your best chance in recent memory to win a Super Bowl, you weren't even competitive. Like Vikings marched down the field, Case Keenum to Kyle Rudolph touchdown. Oh, here we go, and then not so much. Plus, home Super Bowl on the freaking line, and you don't show up. Not that I'm still bitter or frustrated. Wow. And then, of course, you have the stupid Kirk Cousins Monday Night Football narratives. Now, Kirk has actually won his last 2 games on Monday Night Football. People don't realize that. But the whole, Kirk is 0-9 before he won 2 in a row. It's like, here it is. In Washington or Minnesota, wherever, Kirk can't get it done on the biggest stage, even though I would say it's Sunday Night Football is the largest stage. Whatever. Monday Night Football is whatever. Yeah, but worst record ever by a quarterback on Monday Night Football, which is kind of amazing, man. Kind of amazing. So Kirk going in, his old stomping grounds, Philly. Of course, he used to play them twice a year in Washington. Yes, that would be a big 2. Plus, the Jalen Reagor revenge game, and also apparently the Janarius Robinson revenge game, even though he's probably not going to play. But Jalen, first-round pick by the Eagles. Yes. Taking 1 spot ahead of Justin freaking Jefferson, which, and then Jalen, he's going to come in. Philly fans are going to boo the crap out of him. Things didn't go well his first 2 seasons there, and he's going to return punts for the Vikings. Maybe he gets a handful of offensive snaps. I just want one deep bomb to Jalen off of play action just to shut up all the haters and the losers, because I think that Reagor could really pan out on that potential that made him a first-round pick. Yes, taken ahead of Justin freaking Jefferson. And then you get to Jefferson, where Jefferson had a chip on his shoulder. 2020, 2-star recruit coming out of high school, went to LSU. No one believed in him. Everyone thought that he would just be a slot receiver in the NFL. I don't know who would do that. Who thought that he would just be a souped-up version of CeeDee Lamb? I don't know. But the fact that the Eagles passed on him and took, yes, Jalen Reagor when they could have had him at their draft pick. But I mean, that's got to weigh on Jefferson. I mean, obviously Jefferson is becoming the best wide receiver in the National Football League before our very eyes, but he still plays with that chip, and that's what makes him great. And then beyond all of those narratives, just the hardcore fact of, hey, it's early in the season, but establishing a foothold, a toehold in the NFC standings as things start getting condensed, as you get later in the season. These games are going to matter, and it doesn't matter whether you play a team. Well, the Eagles are going to be in contention. Let's call a spade a spade. Respect. The Eagles are one of the better young up-and-coming teams in the NFC. I think they will clearly win the NFC least, especially with Dak missing some games. I don't buy into the commies. I don't buy into the Giants, whatever. But I think the Eagles are going to be a contender in the NFC. And it doesn't matter if you play them week 2 or week 17 or 16 or whatever. A game is a game is a game. And you got to take care of your business in division, because especially the conference, especially the division that you play as part of the rotation, because those common games go into a lot of tiebreakers. So the Vikings have to go into Philly. They have to go into Lincoln Financial Field, or whatever the hell they call it nowadays, and get things done. Because, yes, again, very early, but 5:38, bunching these teams up. The Bucks, the Vikings, the Eagles. Probably not the greasy Green Bay Packers. I don't see them getting off the mat. But the Rams, the Saints, the Niners, the Commies, maybe. No. Actually, no. Maybe the NFC will just take 6 teams to the playoffs. I mean, screw the Commies. Screw the Packers. Whatever. But even though, yes, we fully understand this is early. But the Vikings, they don't play the Eagles again. And could this game heads up against the Eagles in week 2 be the difference between where the NFC title game is located? Yes, we're getting way ahead of ourselves. But do you think that would have mattered in 2017 if the NFC title game was in historic US Bank Stadium, site of the Super Bowl that year, versus Philly? And it just make a minor difference? Yes. So let's keep the good times rolling, because guess what? The Vikings, first 6 weeks of the season, man, it is going to be tough because you got 3 division games. Yes, they're all at home. You're one up on the Packers, which is great. But the road games, Eagles, Monday Night Football, Dolphins, actually look a little sporty this year. And then you got the Saints neutral site in London. So, and also the Saints are probably going to be a factor in the NFC too. So you can't slouch. Even though, yes, you got good vibes from the Packers game, you can't have that emotional hangover, which the Vikings certainly did in the 38-7 game coming off in Minneapolis Miracle. This was not your Super Bowl. Week 1, taking care of the Packers at home when they didn't have wide receiver 1, Allen Lazard, and they didn't have their top 2 offensive linemen. That was not the Super Bowl. We cannot rest on the laurels, because guess what? This isn't one of those seasons where, hey, you go 9-8, you get the 7 seed, you go 1 down the playoffs. That's a pretty good season. I mean, this team hasn't been above 500 over the last 2 years, hasn't been in the playoffs last 2 years, whatever. No, there is no moral victories. This team is talented. This team is well coached. This team is well assembled, and they can make some noise. Justin Jefferson is blossoming to the best wide receiver in the game. Kirk Cousins, you can win a Super Bowl with this version of him. The offensive line is better than it's been in a decade plus. Let's get things done. So I understand. Maybe it's a little hyperbolic and bloviating to say that, hey, week 2, Monday Night Football is a must win, but it is. If the Vikings are going to be a factor in the NFC and the NFL and have dreams and aspirations of hashtag Gold Glendale Super Bowl, all that stuff, they got to win games like this. And yes, it's going to be tough. Hostile environment, good team in the Eagles, well coached, and they're 3-point dogs for a reason. But you got to take care of these coin toss games, because neutral site, they would be seen by Vegas as about the same team. So they got to go in, impose their will, keep the good vibrations going, and get it done. And then you come back home, dispatch the Lions. Then you go to London. Dun, 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 dun. This one's for the Queen, or the King, or whoever's in charge now, taking care of stupid Jameis and the Saints, and then come home, smack the Bears one time, and then you go on the road, AFC, the beat writers are really happy, even though they would have preferred South Beach in December, but take care of the Dolphins. You head into the bye, and then you're good to go. And then, again, every single week matters, especially a game like this, a team that's going to be tough in the NFC. This will count at the end of the season, in the standings, in the tiebreakers, etc. And like I said, don't sleep on the Eagles. Good football team. But I say, bring it. Bring it, man. But your thoughts are thoughts. Week 2 against the Eagles is a must-win for the Vikings. Let us know your thoughts and our thoughts in the comment section below. Subscribe for daily Vikings takes. Want to support the work? Put a little something in the Venmo. But till next time, Skull Production Value.